Hello and welcome. I am Vaibhosha and today we will be learning about prerequisite to engineering drawing. So let us begin. Now let us understand various kind of drawing instruments. So this is nothing but your drawing sheet which we are going throughout in our subject. This is known as a drawing board. So we will be fixing this drawing sheet onto your drawing board. This is a mini drafter. You can ideally draw line at any particular angle what you want. This is known as your T-square. You can draw ideally vertical and horizontal line with the help of T-square. This is known as a rounder or compass. You can draw circle as well as circular arc with the help of it. This is known as a circular divider. You can use it to transfer the dimension onto your straight line as well as curves. These are known as your French curves. So you can use these curves to join the points and you can have this circular fashion generated with the help of it. You can have this protector to draw and measure at any given angle. These are known as a set square, 45 and 30-60 set square. You can use it to draw any angle with the help of set square. This is known as a ruler to draw a straight line, and these are now finally the sets of pencil you need to. So let us move ahead. First, drawing board. So let us see first upright view of the drawing board. So we are having these two supports which are known as your battens. So we will be placing this drawing board on this batten like this. So we will be having fixed this drawing board on your stand by the help of these battens. Now we will be having this top surface of your drawing board very highly finished. So this surface is highly finished and made smooth, so we can accommodate paper very easily and we can have sharp and accurate drawings on it. On the left hand side of the drawing board, it is known as a working edge, onto which we will be fixing the different instruments, and we can slide up and down the instruments to draw anywhere onto your drawing sheet by the help of that drawing instruments. So let us move ahead and let us see a next instrument, so which is nothing but your drawing sheet. Very most important thing, drawing sheet. So let us see how the drawing sheets are made. So we are having suppose A4 size of sheets. If we double the dimension of A4 size of sheet, then we'll be having A3 size of sheet. If we double the dimension of A3 size sheet, then we'll be having A2 size of sheet. If we double the dimension of this A2 size, we'll be having A1 size of sheet, and finally we'll be having A0 size of sheet. So in the world, the maximum size of sheet which is available is nothing but what? A0 size of sheet. This is the maximum size available in the world. Now let us see one table here on the left hand side. So there are two dimensions given. One is for the trim sheet and second is for the untrimmed sheet. So for our engineering applications, as a public will be having this trim sheet readily available in the market, and untrimmed sheets are actually available to the industrial applications for particular applications which are not available to us directly. So now we will be using this trim sheet for our any of the drawing purposes. So let us see few of the dimensions on this drawing sheets of a trim size, and how to remember these dimensions I will tell you on trick. So let us begin. Let's see, the first column is for designation, which is a type of sheet. Second is for the trim size papers, and third is for the untrimmed size paper. So let us see first the dimension of each of the sheet for the trim size, because in examination, whenever it is asked to write down the dimension of any sheet, you will be using only trimmed size only. Remember that. So now we will be using first sheet of A0 size. The dimension of A0 size would be 841 by 1189 mm. So here we are using the dimension as your mm. So don't worry about what is mm. I will be letting you know at the end of this lecture what do you mean by mm, but just saying that there is one dimension mm which we are going to use to describe these sheet sizes. Second, A1. So 594 by 841 is the dimension of A1. Then A2, 420 by 594 is the dimension of A2. Trim size we are talking about. A3, 297 by 420 is the dimension of A3Cs, and finally A4, 210 by 297. So these are the various dimensions of your drawing sheet, right? So now you will say, sir, it is very difficult to remember each of the dimensions because there are a number of digits associated with it. Don't worry. Now let us see how to remember this drawing sheet. How to remember this drawing sheet sizes in no time. So now either you need to remember the size of your highest sheet, which is A0 sheet, or you need to remember the size of your A4 sheet. So let me give you a shortcut trick to just write down this. Let me give you the shortcut trick to just remember this table very easily. So let us start with your A0 size sheet. So I need to remember the size of sheet of A0 size, so which is what? 841 by 1189. Now what you will do is you will take the dimension of the length. Length is the highest dimension in any of the sheets. So here we will be taking the dimension of the length and we will making the half of the dimension. So here in this case 841 by 1189. 1189 is the length because it is the highest dimension. So let us make half of the dimensions, and we'll be putting that dimension in the place of width of the second sheet, which is 594. Now we'll be taking the width of the first sheet, which is 841, directly in the place of the length of your second sheet, which is 841. Now for the next sheet, for A2 size sheet, what we'll do is we'll take the dimension of A1 size sheet, so which is now 594 by 841. So we have to select the length from these two dimensions. So 841 is obviously a greater dimension, so that means it must be a length of that sheet. So we need to divide this 841 by 2 because we are halving the dimension of your 841, so which will be your 420. So you need to write the 420 in the first place in the width of your next sheet, and you will be directly using the width of your previous sheet as a length of your next sheet, like 594. So you are just placing the same figures and you are halving the length of your previous sheet, and you will be having this table right. So you need to practice 2 or 3 times and you can easily remember this table, right? So let us move to our next thing. So now we have the drawing board, now we have drawing paper. So we need to fix this drawing paper into drawing board. So we will be using this certain kind of fixing and clamping devices to fix the drawing sheet into drawing board. So firstly you can use a step or cello tape to stick or affix your drawing sheet into your drawing board. Second is your pin, so you directly affix the pin onto your drawing sheet and you can clamp your sheet into a drawing board. And finally you are having these drawing clips which are readily available into the market. So you can fix these drawing clips onto your drawing board and you can fix your drawing sheet onto your drawing board. Now we are having drawing sheet, drawing board, and we have fixed the drawing sheet. The next task would be to draw onto a drawing sheet. So we'll be using the different kinds of pencils to draw onto a drawing sheet. So we are currently having 2 kinds of pencils available. First is your wooden pencil and second is your new generation push pencils. So wooden pencils are the pencils which we need to sharpen every time, so it takes too much time while drawing. And while in the case of push pencil, you can just insert a lead and you can just push from the top and you can have a newly fresh lead at every time. So I would suggest you should use a push pencil rather in the place of your wooden pencils. So now let us come to the grades of the pencils. So there are different kinds of grades available for any pencils in the market. So let's first start with this first row here. So this is a B grade pencil. B means bold grade. That means you can have a darker handwriting by the usage of this bold grade pencil, which is having a very soft lead, and as you go from this B grade to 2B, 3B, 4B, 8B, the pencil gets darker and darker, and the lead the spread of lead increases. So when you try to use 8B pencils, the spread of lead onto your drawing sheet would be more. So it is generally used for your artistic purposes. As an artist, you can use these drawings. You can use these drawing pencils. Now let us come to our next pencil grade, which is known as the HB grade, so which is a normal grade, day-to-day life grade. We are using this pencil for our normal tracing purposes because it is a balanced grade between your H and B grade, so which is a normal normal darkness of the pencil. Now let us move to our next grade, which is most important for the drawing purposes for the engineers, which is known as your what? H grade. H means hard grade. So you will be having the pencils harder and harder as you go from H, 2H, 4H, 8H up to 10H, and you will be having hardest pencils available. But remember, if you have a too hard pencil, then it can tear off your paper, so don't try to use a too hard pencil. So in our application, we'll be using 2H pencil, or you can go up to 4H pencil. It's completely up to you. So I will be suggesting you 3 pencils, HB, 2H and 4H. So you can use different kinds of pencils at different time and you can have a better drawings. So these pencils are used for the engineering drawing purposes, and we can use these pencils for this subject also. Now let us suppose if you are using the wooden pencil currently, then you can have different choice of your point tips like this. These are the 3 different types of points available to you while you are using these pencils. So you can have these pencils on your cardboard. You can just slide it down and drop your pencil onto your cardboard, and you can just give different shapes to your tips of your pencil, and you can use these different pencils for different applications to get a different thickness, different styles of lines. So you can use these different kinds of pencil tips. Next, let's move to next instrument. This is the instrument which is known as a T square. As you can see, there is a T shape in each of the instruments, so it looks like a T. It is having one longer working edge, or you can say the main scale, and this is the head. It is fixed onto a drawing sheet like this, so you need to fix this head onto your drawing board, and you can slide it up and down, and you'll be using this line for your working edge, and you can, by use of these pencils, you can draw a straight line. Let us see one more drawing instrument, set square. So there are 45 set square, and the second is your 30 degree, 60 degree set square. So as you can see on the leftmost side of me, there is one smaller size of triangle, which is nothing but your 45 set square, and beside that is a 30 degree, 60 degree set square. So you can draw ideally 30 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree with the help of your 30 degree, 60 degree set square, and by 45 set square you can draw 45 degree as well as your 90 degree. So how to draw with the help of set square? So you need to have a T square placed on your drawing sheet, like we have seen in our previous article. Then after you have to place the set square here, and you need to, by the help of your pencil, you can draw any of the lines at any angle. And by the use of different combination of your set square, you can ideally draw from 0 until your 180 degree by the different combination of your 30 degree and 45 degree set squares. So these are the ways you can draw different angles by the help of the set squares alone. Let us move ahead and see our next instrument. So this is a very important instrument for engineering point of view. This is known as a mini drafter. Practically you can draw any particular angle degree line with the help of this drafter. So there is one L kind of a shape scale available. It is your first scale, primary scale. This is your secondary scale. So you have total 2 scales available into your drafter. You can draw horizontal line with the help of this scale, and vertical line mutually perpendicular to this horizontal line with the help of this scale. Now as you can see, there is one knob here given. So this knob is here in the black, indicated by black knob. So you can just open this knob and you can adjust this drafter at any particular angle, and you can draw lines now any angle you want by the help of drafter. So what you need to do is, you need to just fix your drafter on the leftmost corner point like this by the clamp, and you have this working arm here. So you can slide it down this drafter all over your drawing sheet, and you can now draw your drawing anywhere onto your drawing sheet. So let us move ahead. Next very famous device, compass or rounder. So this is a compass box for rounder and the proportional dividers. So you can ideally use this rounder to draw the circles or circular arcs in your drawing. So you need to just hold this rounder in any one hand, whatever is preferable to you, and you need to lean this rounder around 15 degree or so, and by giving the pressure on the outer periphery you can draw this circle by this rounder very easily. So remember, you need to use only a single L while drawing your circle. Now this is another device which is a novel device which we haven't used till date. This is nothing but your proportional divider. So suppose we need to transfer the certain dimensions on the line multiple times, and we need to use this divider. So what we have to do is, we just need to locate the dimension on your drawing sheet. We need to put your proportional divider onto that division, and then after we need to just reproduce the dimension multiple times by the help of this proportional divider. So next, let us see the next device. So this is nothing but a protector. So we know that protector, with the help of protector, we can either draw a line at any particular degrees, or we can either measure the angle with the help of protector. So we have two protectors, 0 to 180 degree protector and 0 to 360 degree protector. So you can use any of the protector to measure between your 0 to 180 degree or 0 to 360 degree. Now let us move to our next device. So these are important devices. These are known as drawing templates or shape templates. So you can directly draw particular shapes by users of this template. So first screen one is your circle template. You can draw any size of circle with the help of this template. And these are the various different kinds of templates. You can use these templates to draw ellipse. These are the various circular arcs you can draw with the help of these, and you have different kinds of geometries in the template. You can directly use this template to cut down on the drawing time. Let us move ahead. So these are the novel device which is known as your French curve. As the name suggests, it is something kind of English device. Yes, it is. So if you need to trace the curve of this gear tooth profiles, and we'll be using this French curve. So what we have initially is, we have the different points, 11 points onto your drawing sheet. So what you need to do is you need to match the different points onto the different curvature points on your French curves like this in the different stages, and you can generate the different portion of this tear tooth by the different profile on your French curve, and you can finally have your final curve generated with the help of French curve. So let us move ahead and see next device, which is roll and draw scale, and which is widely popularly known as your roller scale, which is the students' first choice. They are buying these devices in ample quantities because it is very easiest to use and very compact in size. So you will be having an ordinary scale attached to your protector and roller here. So you can slide it down this scale. As the name says, it's a roller scale. So you can roll this scale over your drawing sheet and you can draw multiple parallel lines within no time. So that's why it is a very popular choice among the students. Next, these are the sharpener and erasing tools. So we need these tools very frequently. So eraser, you need to erase a certain portion of drawing into a drawing sheet. You will be using eraser. This is the erasing shield. This is a device used to remove the certain portion on the drawing without affecting another portion of the drawing. So we will be using erasing shield, and onto this erasing shield we will be using eraser to remove the certain portion of your drawing. Then after, these are the various kind of sharpeners. So if you are going to use your wooden pencils, then you need this kind of sharpeners, otherwise it is of no use. Let us move ahead. These are very simple devices, as you can see. These are tissue paper and dusters. So many times it happens that when we complete our drawing, we feel very relaxed and we try to move our hands on our drawing and we try to spread our graphite onto the sheet, and we have different patches on your drawing sheet and we just ruin our drawing. So at that time, if we have the tissue paper and dusters, we can remove the excess dust or the graphite onto a drawing sheet and we can keep this sheet very clean and tidy. So this is the usage of your duster and this. Now we'll be using certain kind of drawing standards throughout in the drawings. So let us see a few of the standards followed in the different countries. So in USA there are ANSI standards, in Japan there are GIS standards, in UK they follow BS standards, Australia they are following AS standards, Germany they are following DIN standards, also ISO standards, but we are mainly focused on the Indian standards, which are known as BIS standards, Bureau of Indian Standards. So we'll be following Bureau of Indian Standards throughout this subject, and we'll be following these standards to draw any technical drawing in engineering purposes. So now let us see what I mean by BIS standards. So there is one question repeatedly asked in your examination, right? A brief note about BIS SP 46 standards. So these are the BIS Special Standard 46, which are like this. So we'll be having first the IS codes for these standards, and these are standards for technical drawing. So these are the various purposes for which we are going to use this standard. So you need to remember this table. There are total 9 standards, and if you write this 9 standard and if you describe in a small single line, there for lettering purpose we'll be using these standards. So we have a particular standardized letter format for this particular standard. So that you can also write from any of your book and you can have this standard. So you need to remember this table in order to get the full marks into your examination. So now let's move to our next thing. Drawing skills. So it is often seen that sometimes it is not possible to draw every object into a drawing sheet. So let us take for example, if you need to draw the building, if you need to draw any building, or if you need to draw any map of India into a drawing sheet, is it possible to draw the map of India into a drawing sheet? No. Now let's see one more example. If you need to draw the components drawing of this watch, you can't see the components of watch, then how can you draw the watch part into a drawing sheet, right? So it is not possible always to draw any component drawing directly into a drawing sheet. At that time we need the scale. So we need to scale down or scale up the part dimensions in order to for clear visibility and understanding purpose. So for that we'll be using this kind of scale. So let us understand its definition. So scale is the ratio of dimension of an object into your drawing to the actual dimension of an object. This is the ratio. You need to remember this definition. Whether it is asked in your examination, you need to write this definition, right? So now here we are talking about the dimensions. Which dimension could be there? So it can be length, it can be area, or it can be volume. So it can be any dimension and you can take the scale directly from it. So let us say one example based on the scales. So let us suppose in drawing sheet I am drawing this element and its actual dimension is like this. So this is, as you can see, it is quite large as compared to your drawing drawn into your drawing sheet. So what we have done is we have just taken the scale of this actual image in order to accommodate it into your drawing sheet. So how to take a scale? So let us select any one side of this object. So let us select any one side of the object. So I have selected the bottom side on both the objects. And if I take the ratio of these both of the sides, then I will be having one scale like this. So this is nothing but a scale which can be generated from your actual object and your object into your drawing sheet. And this is nothing but what? Your scale. So now there are different kinds of scales available. So let us see what is the first type. So 1:1 is a full scale in which we will be actually drawing the actual image directly into your drawing sheet without enlarging or reducing the dimension. Second, let us see the second scale is x:1, which is known as an enlarged scale. So we will be actually enlarging the dimension of your actual object before drawing into your drawing sheet. Thereafter, we will be having a final scale which is 1:x, and in which what we will do is we will try to reduce the dimension of your actual object while drawing into drawing sheet. So let us see this by one example, in which first we will be seeing 1:1 scale. Then we will be having a wristwatch component drawing, in which we will be enlarging the drawing RF greater than 1, and last will be the Eiffel Tower drawing, in which we will be taking the ratio. This is a 1:1 drawing, so in which we have a mobile directly drawing into drawing sheet, so it is 1:1 factor. Suppose we need to draw the components of watch like this, so we need to enlarge the dimension of watch, and we will be having the RF greater than 1, so we will be enlarging the dimension and we can draw the drawings. Suppose we have Eiffel Tower and we need to draw into a drawing sheet, we need to reduce the dimension of Eiffel Tower and we will be drawing this drawing, so we will be having RF less than 1. So these are the examples of your full scale, reduced scale and enlarged scale. So now let us move ahead and see most important theory into your examination. It is many times asking your examination, describe the types of lines used in engineering applications. So there are total 9 types of lines available in the usage of application. So you will be having first types, second illustration, and third is application. So you need to make this table into your drawing sheet, and you need to write whatever I have written here. You need to remember this table. So first, continuous thick line. So we will be using this continuous thick line. The illustration is like this. We will be having a thick line. So usage of this line is as a visible line. So let me give you one example. In our older days, in our school days, we used to draw and the black sketch pen line after the completion of your drawing as a final border outline, right? So these are nothing but what? Visible outlines. We need to draw outlines at the end of each of the drawings in our school days. This is nothing but here we are drawing the same outlines by the visible thick line. These are nothing but your visible outlines. After the completion of each of the drawings, we will be making the outlines thicker and darker. This is nothing but what? Your visible outlines or thick lines. Second, continuous thin line. So this is a representation of continuous thin line. It is the most important lines and widely used in engineering applications. So it has a broad applications like dimension lines, leader lines, extension lines, construction lines, and finally the hatching lines. Then after we will be having continuous thin wavy lines. So this is kind of a line. So these are the irregular boundary surfaces lines. We will be actually showing these lines in most of the civil engineering or mechanical applications where your surface is having irregular boundary surfaces. Then after we will be having short dashes, medium line like this. We will be having equally spaced dashes like this. So it is usually used as a hidden outlines. So whenever you are having any hidden object to be shown in your drawing sheet, we will be using these lines. Then after we will be having long chain thin line. So this is long chain thin line. So one is long line, short line, long line, short line. So this is the pattern of this line. This is usually used in center line, your locus line, or as well as in the cutting plane line. Then after we will be having one other line which is long dash, which is long chain thick at ends and thin elsewhere. So you can see that both the ends are thick and it is thin elsewhere. So it is a line which is used as a cutting plane lines. So whenever you are cutting object in your engineering applications, you will be using this line as your cutting plane line. Then after we are having long chain thick lines. This is a complete long chain line, but it is completely thick throughout. So these are the lines to indicate the surfaces which are to be treated additionally. So we will be using this line. And finally, the line is ruled line or short zigzag line. These are the lines like a cardiogram line. So these are the lines to show your long break lines. So these are the total 9 lines. Now let us understand this type of lines by one video. So let us see one video here. So here we have these are the different type of lines available to us. So these will be our object. So first we'll be looking for a thick line, or you can say visible line. So these are the visible lines which are shown in the object. So now the thin lines which has a maximum usage in the engineering graphics. As you can see, there are a number of applications of this thin line. Then after what we have this wavy line, or you can say irregular, continuous irregular lines. So these are the lines we will be using there. Then after we'll be having a thin line with zigzag, or you can say ruled line or ruled zigzag lines. Then after we'll be having this dashed line, short dash medium, you can say, you will be using there. There are this application. Then chain thin lines, we will be having total 3 applications like this for chain thin line. Then after we'll be having one more line, chain thick at the ends and thin elsewhere. So this is the application of that line. So these are the various application of lines, as you can see. Now let us see the use of drawing instruments. So how to use this drawing instrument? So let us start with the drawing board. So drawing board usually comes in the thickness of 25 mm with the buttons at the bottom to fix it onto any of the places. The surface is smooth. It is made of a white pine wood. It is a soft material. So while placing the drawing sheet, you should remember the size of drawing paper should always be less than your drawing board. You should be using your drawing tabs or pins to fix your paper. Then you can draw by use of pencils. You can use 3 different types of pencils like HB, H and 2H. You can use any of these pencils into your drawing sheet. Now let us see the usage of your T-square. We'll be having this T-square, so you need to place this T-square on your drawing board, fixing on the left hand side on the working edge, and you can slide it up and down, and by the help of your pencil you can draw parallel horizontal line onto your drawing sheet. Then after, let us use this 30 degree, 60 degree set square and this 40 by 45 set square on the left. You can draw 45 degree, 45 with that, and 30 degree, 60 degree with your 30 degree, 60 degree set square. This is 30 degree, 60 degree set square. So now let us see how to draw with the help of set square. So you need to place the set square onto your T-square and you can draw this thing. Then ruler, you can draw any straight line with the help of ruler. Now protractor is a device you can draw and measure at any angle with the help of protractor. So this is a 0 to 180 degree protractor. So you can place the protractor onto your drawing sheet and you can either draw the angle or measure the angle like it is seen here. So the combination of all this equipment is one equipment which is known as a mini drafter, which has all the capabilities in it. You need to fix at the top by the knob, and now you have the scales 90 degree to each other. So you need to just lift the knob and you can adjust the scales anywhere you want, and you can draw practically any degree line onto your drawing sheet by the help of this drafter, as you can see. And the novel thing is your ruler scale. As you can see, this is a ruler on your bottom, and you can slide it down anywhere and you can draw parallel lines anywhere you want. Then after, we'll be using French curves. You can join number of points to have a curvature surface generated. You can use it to draw ellipse, hyperbola, parabola by the help of these French curves. So you need to just join the points according to the French curve and you can have these curves. Then after we'll be having rounder. You can either draw rounder circles or circular arcs with the help of rounder. Then after you need eraser. You will be using this eraser to rub your portion onto your drawing sheet. So these are the application of your elements of your drawing sheet. So now let us move ahead and see. So now I have told you in the section of your drawing sheet, we are measuring the all of the measurements in the form of mm. So let us understand what do you mean by mm. So let us take our ordinary scale. So this is the ordinary scale. So if I ask you one question, so how many number of divisions are there between 0 to 1 centimeter? Then you will say, sir, 10 divisions, right? So 10 divisions are nothing but what? Your 10 mm. So here 10 divisions are nothing but what? 10 mm. That means what? What single division would be of 1 mm. So 1 centimeter contains 10 divisions, and 10 divisions are nothing but your 10 mm. That's why one single division would be of what? 1 mm. So now we have the conversion factor. 1 centimeter is equal to what? 10 mm, or you can say 10 divisions. So here is the conversion of your 1 centimeter to 10 mm. So now let us see few of the examples to memorize this conversion factor. So first example, 12 centimeter. 12 centimeter is equal to what? 120 mm. How? Because 1 centimeter is equal to 10 mm. So 12 centimeter is equal to what? So 120 mm. Next, 20.5 centimeter. So 20.5 centimeter is equal to what? 205 mm. So what we have done is we have just multiplied your centimeter by what? 10. Next, 3.5 centimeter. So if you multiply by 10, so we will be adding 35 mm. Next, 0.5 centimeter. So if we multiply by 10, we will be adding 5 mm. And the last one, 118.9 centimeter is equal to 118.9 mm. So we have what we have done is we have just multiplied by 10 to get it converted into mm. So you can try it for mm to centimeter conversion, and you can try and test for 5 to 7 examples, and you will get to know the conversion factor in your mind, what is centimeter to mm. So that is all from my side. If you enjoyed this lecture, if you like my teaching style, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. If you have any doubts, any confusions, feel free to comment down below. Keep learning, stay connected. Bye bye.